And I tell you whose eyes are wide open, that's Tyrann Mathieu, who hilariously played at the arch rival LSU in college. He was tweeting at Orlovsky yesterday saying, Mac Jones wasn't trendy enough for y'all at first, huh? Now y'all love him. Man, y'all funny day in, day out. Y'all should be on Comedy Central. And Orlovsky, tweeted, yup. And Tyrann Mathieu said he don't throw sidearm or run fast, so people knocked him. Dude can play quarterback, period. So there's a lot to unpack in that. Let's start with just what he's doing so well, Tim. I know you have one play in particular that really opened up your eyes. What are you seeing through a quarterback's eyes from Mac Jones?
Well, listen, his command of what they're doing on offense is evident with the way you see him get through stuff. But I think we were looking at this play to Kendrick Bourne. I think a lot of people look at it and go, oh, what an amazing catch by Kendrick Bourne. And it is. But really what it is, it's an outstanding throw that helps make it happen. Because of where the safety is, Mac Jones is throwing it there intentionally. He's trying to protect the wide receiver, from taking a big hit. And because he throws it high and behind, it's hard for the safety to make a play on the football. And so, that to me is an example, and it's one of many, where it looks like the quarterback is playing at such a high level and being so accurate with the football that I actually think that the players around him are playing better because of the quarterback. We talk all the time about, hey, if things are perfect around Baker Mayfield, can they be good enough? If everyone around him is playing great, can that help the quarterback? Or can that be the case with Kirk Cousins? Can that be? And I think that's how we talk about a lot of guys. That's just the reality of it. I actually believe what's happening in New England is the quarterback is playing so well that he's actually getting the people around him to play better. I think that's what's going on, and I think it's really unique for a guy that, is as young and as inexperienced as Mac Jones is.
There's a psychological impact that I think is tough for any of us to measure because you can't see it in stats. But if you are a player and you feel good about your team, which in large part is predicated on how good you feel about your quarterback, the defense plays better. If you actually believe if we get him this ball back, he can score, you play a little better. If you believe that you're down 10 points, but we have the capability of coming back, you play a little better in those situations. I don't know how to measure it, but Mac Jones has scored that on this team because they believe in him and they trust him.
The second part of this, of what Tyrann Mathieu was tweeting about that I think we need to address is the idea of where Mac Jones went in the draft and what people thought of him. I think because there was this great discussion about whether or not he should go number 3 overall, and because 4 other quarterbacks were drafted ahead of him, I feel like we sometimes talk about Mac Jones like he went in the 5th round. Mac Jones was the 15th pick in this draft. He was drafted in the first half of the first round. That is still reserved for players who are expected to be excellent. So I understand sort of the psychological piece of this, but we should not talk about him like he's Tom Brady, who got drafted in 199. He was the 15th pick in the draft.
Yeah, and it's been a minute since Bill used that high of a pick on a quarterback. I respect what Tyrann Mathieu is saying. I think we're all in agreement. To me, no, because we were talking about Trevor Lawrence, clearly the best prospect, and then Mac Jones was the guy. He's not going to be flashy. He's not going to be sexy, but he can read a defense and he can make plays and he can be a very good quarterback. That to me was the scouting report before, and I think people were talking about Mac Jones like he's going to San Francisco. Oh, he's going to San Francisco. And then people started talking about Justin Fields and Trey Lance like, hey, now don't discount those guys just because they play the position differently.
It's a function of what draft coverage is. It's like we have to compare them, so you have to kind of downgrade some guys based on some things. But I think, honestly, that I agree with Tyrann Mathieu that somehow we felt like we were denigrating him because he had a lack of athleticism, because we thought that this type of quarterback, the league was no longer built for that. But in complete fairness, I think Mac Jones is very good. But I also think Mac Jones deserves, or the system around Mac Jones, the people there deserve a lot of credit for his fast development. So the argument that Mac Jones is good, I don't disagree with. But put Trevor Lawrence out there. He'll be doing the same thing.
That's why
put Justin Fields there. He'll be doing the same thing. I don't know about your man, Zach Wilson.
That was unnecessary.
I don't know. I'm just saying I don't know. But I'm saying the same thing could be true for other guys.
Let me give the quarterback the final word. Go, Tim.
Yeah. Well, a couple of things. One, you see Tyrann Mathieu listening to what people are saying about other players. Proof that players are listening to what guys are saying about them, all right? That's first thing. Next thing is this. Look, and I'm not shy to say it. Look, how I felt about Mac Jones coming out, look, I wasn't as high on him as so many other people were. And a lot of it had to do with when you watched him play in college, it's hard to decipher, what is the supporting cast and what is the player. And look, that's good and bad. No different than Josh Allen at Wyoming. It's difficult to see that. And that's part of what happens when you evaluate quarterbacks. But Dominique is exactly right. The situation that you go to matters. Now, I will say this. With that being said, I do believe what happens is, the supporting cast in New England isn't necessarily the supporting cast in Kansas City. It's just not. And,
come on,
so you do have to give Mac Jones, while his circumstances with coaching staff and all that's great, what he's doing with the receivers he's been given has also been outstanding.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.